So last session, which seems like forever ago, like holy shit, that was in November last year. Your group woke up to find that the undergrowth had come along and tangled up your sleeping bags, but thanks to us, just a ridiculously arsely well-placed trap by Jake, alerting you to the presence of something untoward and actually capturing one of the presences. You narrowly managed to avoid the surprise attack round, and then you just literally made mulch out of some big, scary, ugly-looking mutant plants that you just pulped the living shit out of, that were drawn to your group from within the jungle surrounds somewhere. Fockiona spent a little bit of time engulfed in the bowels of one of those creatures, and is still quite coated in mulch and muck from being disgorged forcibly.
New Year's is the time
Once
for hockey owners' weekend projects. Like, you need some mulch, call me.
you just scrape it off. The Jake at the end of all of that saw the opportunity to set fire to the dried and withered husks that became of that undergrowth and all those items that and monstrosities that seem to be entangled together and coming for you all. But he didn't notice that the corpses of the attackers were also connected to that a much larger undergrowth of vines that had similarly withered and dried out when they died, which made them absolutely phenomenal kindling when he spaghetti flamed the living shit out of them. And I'm sure Jake believed that it was fine, and he did, you know, scout around and he was very confident he took adequate precautions to ensure nothing untoward happened. So that quickly caught a light, and in reality, because he didn't take adequate precautions, the fire swiftly took hold and began to spread off to the northeast with thick plumes of smoke rising in the sky. The fire quickly evaporating the dampness present in the jungle undergrowth that you previously experienced, and steadily began setting the forest alight. And your group made a decision to beat a hasty retreat, still stating that, you know, this is fine. So you now, at this point, find yourselves rapidly moving along a path that appears to be mostly still heading towards that easterly direction that you were guided towards by your new tiger friend. The thick plumes of smoke behind you and off to the right are still very present and flame. Immediately around you, there's dense jungle. The path that clearest path still continues to be heading towards the east, and your map has also now changed. If we go to a more aerial view of where you guys are and what you can see.
Ooh.
So
Well, okay.
Oh shit, I'm not even in there.
there
Why
you
didn't
are.
nobody say nothing? No, I'm not.
There you are. Bottom
No, I'm
left.
not.
Not logged into Foundry.
Oh,
That's what she said.
okay. I think you mean like not on the map. Like, yeah, you freaking are. Make sure
Yeah.
you're all in there.
Okay,
I forgot to. I opened it but forgot to log in. I'm racist to win.
Why didn't someone say something? Yeah, no, it's not like any links
Exactly.
or anything were posted or
No, I opened the
loaded
link.
or...
I just never logged in.
At a certain point, there's player responsibilities that you need to take responsibility for.
Nah, I get fucked. Side note,
So,
I really like your shirt.
sorry?
Side note, I really like your shirt.
The happy little Vegemite one?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I am a happy little Vegemite, so it suits perfectly.
Yeah.
So this is where you guys currently find yourselves. You've entered into it's a little bit of a clearing.
Hey, I'm gonna shove that microphone up your ass in a minute.
You
What?
All I can hear is you breathing into it. It's driving me mental.
Poor egg. He's got a
I'm
brand new
sorry.
mic. He sounds so much better when he talks.
It does. It sounds so good. It just sounds like it's in his mouth. Dante, don't you start. I can't deal with this.
I will
Like,
say it is
I
picking up
can't.
your breathing with
It's on
alarming
an
clarity.
epic
And
level.
I'll one of the things I found that fixed my mic was the NVIDIA broadcast that Racer sent me. Egg, it's brilliant with any microphones. It puts a noise gate on and cuts out like breathing, fans, background noise.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's really, really good. I even use it for work now. It's fantastic. It doesn't help you right now when Racer's threatening to forcibly insert microphones into orifices, but it is a great tool.
That's why I asked before the stream.
I told you it was in your mouth.
Yeah,
I
no, I
just
moved
said
it
it sounds
away,
good.
and then
Oh, that's so much better. Leave it how it is.
What the fuck are you out of?
Slightly out of focus, but here.
Technical difficulties are finished. Yay.
Wow.
Now he's gonna be fun assing around with his focus for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah, you know it.
Egg,
Semi-attentive
yours
to
sounds
what's
so
happening.
much better
Oh,
now.
that'll do. That's
He's just holding his breath, Racer. He's about to pass out. He
Yeah.
hasn't breathed since you threatened him.
Egg turns blue. Egg, you must do a saving roll to see if you breathe again.
the mic's like so far away.
Oh, and we're
Yeah,
already
but we can still
we're
hear you
off
perfectly.
topic.
All right, good to know.
What? Us? Off topic? No.
Yeah, no,
Wait.
I know. Shocking. What a shocking turn of events this
Oh well,
is.
look, I lost my shit. Dante fixes his fucking camera. It was valid.
Look, it's all happening, all positive. So where you guys currently find yourself, you're in a bit of a peaceful spot. You're still in the jungle surrounds itself. It's a little bit of a clearing, as you can see in the pathway, heading towards. So your direction straight ahead is essentially that easterly direction. So if you, even though your players can't see it, for you guys where you can see sort of the narrow length of the map, that's essentially the due east, and then there's some. It's quite a big avenue. So there's some stuff in there. So where you've got ahead of you, from what you can see immediately around you, is essentially that same jungle environment, not quite as moisture filled as what it had been, whether that's from the flames or something else, you're not sure, but you're still definitely in a jungle. And at last we heard, you were running and found yourself into this semi clearing at a full run away from the the flames that Jake lit up. What do you want to do?
I'll keep moving, I guess.
Are we looking to just outrun this fire, do you think? Or are we in any way going to deal with the
How close
repercussions
is it to
that we
us?
started? Or not that I
How?
know what we can do
It's
anyway.
out of
Really.
our hands now. We can't do anything. Yeah. You
Do
just
you want to give me? Sorry, there was a. Let you guys have that conversation, but I'll come. I did hear what you said, Racer, and I'll come back to that once these guys are finished talking. Sorry,
Oh,
Zach and Fox.
yep. I forgot I even asked that question.
Well, now.
so keep
Well, I
running.
recall
I guess.
previously me shapeshifting into something different, scooching up into the air and seeing some sort of city off in the distance.
Oh
I
yeah.
assume that's the
Right.
direction in which we're heading, or
Yeah. Yeah, I think
right.
so.
Well, then I guess we forge
It's like
on.
southeast or something.
Are we at breakneck speed crossing said clearing, or are we investigating? Do we have time to investigate?
Yeah, I don't think we'd have time. Fires move pretty fast.
Right. Well, assuming we don't have time, then I guess we must just keep going.
While you guys are chatting about that, Alia, can you give me a survival check, please? Do it wherever you want to roll it. Just let me know what your number is, because you were looking to sort of gain some awareness of how far the flames were from you.
Ah.
right, so they weren't directly on your tail as you left. The prevailing winds were taking them kind of like a crosswind, off at an angle away from you. And as best you can tell, from the smoke and stuff that's rising, whilst the fire is behind you, it doesn't seem to be, right on your hammer. As best you're aware, you're pretty confident. Do with that information what you will.
To know wind could change. Get eaten.
Well, I'm guessing we just keep heading up screen, which I assume is north. I don't know.
Yeah, heading straight ahead is actually east.
East, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know it would have been easier, but the direction you guys were heading was east, and then events have unfolded, and you're still heading east.
East it is.
All right, so you guys are going to be heading. Jake's just going to be quietly following along, just like last time with you guys. So,
Yep. Cool. So if we're going sort of this direction, that's east, yeah, or this direction's east.
Like literally going straight up the map is your
Yep,
east.
Gotcha.
Yep. So straight ahead is east. Where you are heading is off to the northeast. So
Right.
if you look like to the right of screen is your due north.
Right. Got you. That wait, what? Okay.
Sorry, due south. Don't
Yeah,
mind me.
thanks.
I had my whole compass back to front.
So you can make us go that direction, but I don't
Yeah.
think you can make the bloody
Yeah, I can't change the cardinal.
Yeah.
Cardinal north. All right, so you were saying, I believe that you're planning on continuing in that easterly direction around, like obviously obstacles, etc. Are you running through that? Are you kind of proceeding with slowing down with a little bit more caution? Are you were talking about investigating or trying to suss out your surroundings? How are you progressing?
Hunched battle walking, twisted forward, one's looking forward, back to back, in anticipation of some shit going down, but still hastily making our way south, east.
East. Yeah. I guess
One of those
look-
things does not seem like the others.
That way.
we're looking around, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Going stealthily, but
Not blindly running, but
All right, so you're basically relying on your passives moving as quickly as possible without being at a dead run.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
okay.
Let's see. Is that reasonably accurate? Because if you're literally trying to go back to back with interlinking arms,
Oh no,
trying to cover all eventualities
No,
of
no,
assault, then you're
no,
not going to be going at a speedy
not quite
pace.
that cautious, but
Okay, not that cautious.
aggressively walking.
Power walking through the jungle.
Yeah, but I'm cafe nighting it.
All right. So as you, I'll just keep moving you guys along then as you head up. And I need to look at some passives before we essentially do the next part. Hang on. Give me 1 sec. Oh wow, you fuckers are not terribly perceptive, are you?
When were we ever?
Or
March,
we're so perceptive that we cannot comprehend and compute everything that we perceive quick enough.
Yeah. That.
No?
So are you kind of proceeding in that clump, like where we essentially, when you guys exited, you had Fokianus and Zach leading the exit, and Alia and Jake, where Ali was kind of quite interested in what Jake was doing, and you wanted to see the chaos unfold, and then Jake was lagging after watching the flames for almost a little bit too long. So is that kind of how you clumped up, or there's a reason I'm asking? I just need to sort of know how you're, because you got space to be in that formation, or you could be single file, or looking at where you've ended, that's about as far as you can go, is two abreast at that next little section.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, Wax. Do it.
All right. So as you guys step and just sort of cross what essentially for us on the map is.
Can't kill me, I'll
Oops,
kill you
I need to
all.
move it. Designated there's like a little bit of a boundary line. What you initially feel after you kind of move about 10 or so feet in that easterly direction, and you're still kind of following that path that you can see that is clear in front of you, you all notice and feel that what you hadn't seen because you're kind of at that power walking run and you're quite focused on, getting away from what you left behind, is that hanging from the trees seemed like you're walking like a little bit of a misty area, and that seemed quite pleasant initially as you 5-10 feet in, but eventually you guys notice when you're about 15-20 feet in along the path that this area, what looks quite misty or moss or something hanging from the trees, is actually a fine set of cobwebs that is steadily becoming more dense around you as you
Spider
guys
tick?
progress and tear your way through. And you get to about there before you're noticing any of that. With your passives, I'd say you're about 20 feet into the cobwebs before you realize that, oh hey, these are cobwebs.
Well, I don't want to speak for what Jake would do in
Huh.
this situation, but
I feel like we all know.
yeah.
It's
Scary.
part of what they're running from, isn't it?
Tell me
Can
what
we
you
call
want to
on
do.
Jake to do something, but roll for them?
As long as it's not something that's going to get them killed, because I don't want to risk killing a character in the absence. Is it something that you can do without Jake?
I don't know. Does anyone else set fire to shit?
I knew that's what you were going to
I
do.
mean,
We're gonna fire behind us, and we were gonna set one in front of us as well. That sounds like
Yeah.
a really good idea.
no, well, okay, yeah, fair. But also,
So what firefighters do, they start fires.
that's right. We're trying to a fire break.
Yeah. That's what it's called.
Yep.
You know what we're doing.
Stand by me.
I mean, or
Yes, I'm the only logical one here, but alright.
wow.
It's a wild time when Ali is the voice of reason.
I don't want to walk through spider webs,
Yeah.
Then get out a feather duster.
Okay. Do you have one in that bag of shit?
No, I do not.
Oh, well, neither do I.
Uh,
What are we doing?
Not setting fire.
How
should we do
fine is the what appears to be spider webs? Is it move it out of the wayable, or we're just going to get stickied up in it?
Give me an invest. Oh, kind of two different things you want to look at there, but if you're looking at the fineness and essentially like ability to traverse, give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Get too close to it though.
You're currently not immobilized by any stretch, but you've steadily moved your way into it, surrounding you and being attached around. It's on you and all around you at the moment.
But we're not stuck.
No.
Right.
You just know you've
Annoying.
this is actually spider webs that are getting thicker and are sticking to you.
Right.
But let's see what your investigation rolls to see what you know
11.
beyond that. All right, with an 11, you've been able to get through it so far, and if you look and compare what's behind you, it looks like it's a lighter thickness of the webs. If you look to your right, it seems like it's that similar sort of thickness or potentially just slightly lighter again. And the webs appear thicker in that due easterly direction where you were where you were heading. That's about all you can tell with an 11. Is that behind you was you're able to traverse to the south or to your right. Seems a little bit lighter again, and it's thicker to your east.
Well, I have a torch in my bag, in a tin box, so theoretically you could light the old torch and just, wave it around maybe, like as in discreetly, like not haphazardly, as it were. Or I could try and use a sword or whatever. Can't you cast a
Risk it, Jake, to
web?
stick it by
Well, we could.
cast a web.
No,
You're all
a
web.
fuck off web spell,
A
Fuck off web.
spell.
And instantly the web was gone.
I haven't prepared that today. Sorry.
Well, bugger. Do we propose that by, and maybe this wasn't covered by our initial investigation, that the creator of said webs might be large, as in larger than us, or are they just plentiful? As in,
Well,
Could we
cover us with a horde.
throw something at the web, see if it sticks?
let's do those two things simultaneously. So Alia, get something out to throw at the webs, and then we'll deal with that one in a sec.
Sure.
As you guys are talking, Fokionis, what's your... Hang on, I just wanted to look at your passive very quickly.
Passive what?
I'm just looking at passive perception. So you do feel like on the webs that have kind of adhered themselves around you as you're pushing your way through, and you're dealing with that annoying spider webs that are hanging all the way around your walkway. You do feel what just sort of catches your attention just briefly, and you kind of dismiss it, but it feels like a slight tremor. But it at least leads you to wanting to know a little bit more. So can you give me, with what you're asking there, can you give me we'll go back to survival. Can you give me a survival check on that one? While you're doing that, Alia, what are you pulling out and what are you looking to do? So just see whether we need to roll or whether we just do it.
I apparently have a bag of ball bearings.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got a bag of 1,000 from Mish. Yep.
So I'm gonna lob a few.
Okay.
And if this cobweb is as thick and dangerous as I think it is, these ball bearings are gonna stick no matter what.
All right. Give me because you're actually specifically trying to kind of do something with these ball bearings to give you an indication. You've got the skill set to throw them easily, but can you give me a perception roll to see what you pick up of where the ball bearings land, what they do, how they adhere, fall, etc. And then we'll come back to Fokionis as well. All right, 14, Fokionis.
14.
All right.
Tweez!
So, Fokionis, with your awareness of spiders in the real world that led you to this, you're extremely confident that this is not like silkworm threads or something innocuous. You're extremely confident that this is most definitely a spider web, and looking at the thickness of what you've walked through, and especially that thickness that's ahead of you, kind of almost directly in front of you to that east, that upward direction where you were heading, you're really confident that a big ass spider has made this web.
Right, I'm ready.
Fokionis
Two-handed fighting?
is confident that the big ass spider is bigger than what you maybe Dante is thinking of as a big ass spider.
Fuck.
Alia. Oh, sorry. I'll let you finish what you're doing there.
Sorry, my nephew's over and my kids are being really, really loud.
No, you're right. So with that kind of handful of ball bearings that you pull out and sort of spin around to throw them with your 14, you kind of get a nice spread between where you've gone and the two potential directions that you haven't yet traversed. The one behind you being the one you're aware of where they went. What you notice with those ball bearings when you throw them, of the around 10 that you threw, you're able to keep track of about 8 or 9 of them, and a couple in each of the directions. And you notice that the ones that went back the way you came from sort of slowed, but then largely fell to the ground, maybe just catching before they went all the way down. But they were more easily able to pierce the cobwebs than the ones that are to your east, so directly straight ahead of you. Those ones, when you threw them, they just stuck, barely moved, barely made an impact on like what is quite, even though there's holes and stuff in it like a spider web, there appears to be quite interlaced and overlaid. That's a much thicker series of webs that are straight ahead of you. And the ones that went to your south or to your right were similar to the ones that were behind you, falling to the ground. With a 14, they actually fell all the way to the ground, and it appears that those spider webs are a little bit thinner that direction.
We're going that way.
Yeah, way it is.
Let's go
I feel like
around.
we're putting us towards the spider and more trouble. But hey, whatever.
Did anyone light anything on fire? There
No,
was
we
that
did not.
conversation.
No,
Okay.
no.
Just wanted to check that before.
Not
No,
at-
I was
Okay.
very
not
against that.
available to us. We have that option.
Uh,
And if we keep procrastinating, the fire will come anyway.
Yes.
I think Jake wants to light more fire.
That's solid Jake areas.
I am reasonably confident that is the case. So you guys are heading away like through that thinner section, which on your map is essentially you'll be kind of curving slightly back down, and then around what's a large tree as you're navigating that those cobwebs.
Yep.
Or slightly above it, like much of a muchness. You're going to essentially come out on the other side of it. All right. Oh, using the wrong app to try and move your avatars is it's not a good way to go. All right, so as you're coming through that, and you rather rapidly, like when you entered into them, but being a little bit more aware now, you leave those cobwebs behind, kind of pushing them through, pulling them off, like pulling them out of your face, your hair, your eyes. Like they were, definitely not your common garden variety spider webs. You do feel, all of you, as you kind of push through that last little section, the Dante, you felt it earlier briefly, or at least you think you did, but you definitely know you felt it now. You all felt that cobweb, that spider web start to shake and vibrate quite strongly, but then cut off as you stepped out of it and lost that connection to it.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
So where you find yourselves is a much more open, clear area. There's a body of water almost directly in front of you that has sections of like sandy shore around it. From where you guys are standing, you had like, wouldn't say slight elevation, like it's literally a slight rise. It's not like you're on a hill or anything, but you do have a slight bit of elevation, kind of, with the gradient going down towards that water. And you can see that there appears to be like some sort of, from where you are, you don't have a really clear picture because there's a little bit of distance between you, and there's a little bit of like refraction off the of light off the water, but it looks like there's some sort of like stone or ruins or something in the middle of that water source. And it looks like quite a beautiful clear blue from the angle you're on, but like I said, you don't have a super clear line of sight on it with the line of sight, super clear visibility with the reflection that is coming off the surface of the water at the moment.
Let's have a look at that.
Yep.
Let's go
Agreed.
closer.
All right.
Which way?
So I've just moved you by default up to what's sort of the larger sandy area, but if you guys want to move yourselves, please do.
No, you're good.
Because if you're going to have a look over at the water, I just need to get the information
How
on
deep
what you're looking at.
the water is?
Oh, while I'm loading this up, why don't you go and investigate that?
I will go to the edge
All right. I'll
see if I
investigate.
can investigate that.
Are you both going to do it separately, or are you going to?
I'm gonna offer my measly advantage to you.
All right. I'll just roll with advantage.
Just roll a 20. Come on.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, so he does.
What were your rolls? Holy shit!
A sec.
Okay. While she's going, I need to. Wow. Okay.
He's
I'm
acutely
pretty
aware
sure
of every single thing that's now going on in the greater block area.
Yeah. You absolutely are. My goodness. All right. Okay. Yep. Got it. I just needed the information because, like, wow, that was. It's high roll. You got to get some detail. When,
Can't
when
wait.
He's gone to page 2.
Some
of
specifics.
49.
Sorry, some specifics. H2. No, we're in. I don't know how many pages we're in now. We're deep. We're deep in the OneNote now, Dorothy. We're to the point that I'm like printing out little shortcut reference sheets of this is my reference sheet of the map you're currently traversing because it's just too much. That's what I had to scroll through to find the like, hey, investigating the lake. Okay, let's go back down to the information of where the lake is.
It looked so cool the way he described it.
It does look cool. All right, I've found the information.
It's loading.
Oh, she's back. All right, are you back now, Racer?
Yeah. The
Alright.
audio keeps cutting out, so I don't know what's going on there.
It's because no one's talking.
It's the
Oh.
Dante infection. Either you're just not game to have the microphone too close and, you know, make people cross.
I deal with it every day on the phone when like people are like looking shit for you and all you hear is and you're like, mate, just like move the phone down so I don't have to listen to that. Fuck's sake, mate.
Sorry.
All right, now that you're back, it's all right. NVIDIA broadcast filters will fix everything, mate. I promise you. It is seriously phenomenal bit of software.
Yeah.
So what was your role? I saw eggs, which was he can tell you the molecules of dinosaur wee that went into the makeup of this
What
lake.
was I supposed to do?
That's all right.
You these two had decided they were going to investigate the lake a little bit more closely.
And are they going to clean themselves up? That sounds like a fabulous idea.
I don't know if they've gotten quite that
Whoa.
far. Egg, I feel like I'm watching an influencer video with the transitions in and out that you've got going on there. It's like, whoo, whoo, whoo. This guy about to tell me what like supplements I should be taking or how to
You get that really
maximize my crypto investments or okay. Dante, what was
Before you
Pocahontas'
started.
role?
I didn't roll. I allowed my
Oh, you just
advantage.
you gave the okay.
Yes.
So Alia, these guys have gone off and Pocahontas has assisted Zachary in his investigation of that little lake a little bit further.
Oh, this is
Did
gonna end up
you? And
bad.
they've headed up to the beach, like the sandy section. What would you like to do? I think you may have missed that. I thought I'd cut off early enough, but I think I must have said that as you were having to bail.
I'm just gonna watch these idiots make a fool of themselves.
I mean, if
Alright.
the animal kingdom's told us nothing, like it's totally safe to just roll up on the edge of lakes.
Oh hell nah! I'm a raccoon and I know better than that.
Just ask all the, all of the dogs up in far north Queensland and Northern Territory how
That's where I lose my cotton candy.
how that's worked out for them.
It takes things from me.
Okay, so Egg getting up there and with Fokionis offering his best ever assistance and scooping up water for you and trying to make himself the most absolutely useful and helpful as he can. You getting closer can see that what look like they may have been ruins are definitely ruins in the center of that that lake, barely kind of protruding up. Sorry, no, let me try that again. Protruding up, but the section of the temple that's visible is very clearly to you not the full temple itself. It appears like just the smallest part of it protruding above the water that's maybe taking up a 20-foot section of what may have been the roof or at the top of a pillar even. Even with your natural 20, it's so old and so deteriorated that it is difficult to tell exactly what the item that's sticking up is, but it's clear to you that it was some sort of temple. The design of it, even with the erosion and deterioration, in terms of what you're familiar with, looks very much like what you were familiar with from like an ancient Greek, ancient Roman kind of style of design to it. Even with all of that corrosion and erosion that's happened to it, you can definitely pick up on those sorts of elements and that it once a temple did sit here, or potentially a temple still does, but it's largely swallowed up by the lake. And sort of following that down, you can see the shimmering shadows of a much larger structure that even with your incredibly perceptive investigative roll, it still disappears from your view into the depths of the water, appearing to be almost bottomless, the lake itself. You do see that there is kind of a shallow section where you could walk out into the water if you wanted to, but then there is quite a steep drop off after that. So the beach and sand only extend a short distance in there. And you also notice that whilst it looks so pristine and pure on the surface, and especially from the distance and where Alia is, so as you see them investigating all of this, Alia, when you get up close with how good a look you had and the water that Fokionis was cupping for you and paying really close attention to what's around you, you notice that there is almost this translucent oil slick to the almost everything that you can now see around you. You kind of came in a hurry. You had some things behind you. You didn't have a good experience with that cobwebs, but it's on the ground itself. It's on the sand. It's on the leaves of the trees and shrubs that are around you. It's on your shoes now as you've like walked through this space. It's on Fokionis's hands from touching the water. It's on the water itself, and just as you pay more attention to that, what looked beautiful and pristine from the distance when you saw it is increasingly looking to you like something corrupt and putrid and almost hidden beneath this veneer of beauty is something far more awful than what it appears on the surface, and it's far more subtle. It's not an overt thing. It's only because you rolled like a natural 20 that you're picking up on some of these elements. And as you look around, that foulness of the water and that whatever that taint and that sheen is, it's on everything that is within your kind of scope of vision. You can even see that there's some sort of shimmer to it on the remains in the center of the lake. And it's definitely on everything around you. And anything you've brushed up against and touched, you can see some sort of marks and things on Fokionis and on yourself. And Ali's a little bit too far away, even with a nat 20. where you've brushed off against things coming towards this lake, you can see that there's some of whatever that is on you guys as well. And you also notice with that nat 20 and all of that information you've gathered that as you were following that temple down and looking, like, deeply concentrating on the water itself and seeing past that kind of reflective surface, that there is a really large shadow under there that, whilst it looked like it was maybe part of that temple initially, is moving of its own accord, ever so subtly, but
Oh, dear.
in a much more alive fashion than that corroded stonework that you can see protruding was, and the elements that are under the water are. And as you're paying that really close attention, you see one, then two, then three glowing orbs open up in that shadowy figure staring straight at you, each of them at least as large as your fist. And you feel one after the other, first Zach, then Fokionis, and then Alia. You guys feel an attention on you that is a conscious presence. For the other two of you, it comes out of nowhere. Zach, you at least have some awareness that something was awry and had a moment to prepare yourself that for that surprise that came your way. But as you see this, Zach, each of you feel this presence, not just as if something is looking at you that you can't see, but you feel like this shimmering in your head, not just over your eyes, but in your head. And you feel this attention on you and this voice speaking directly into your ear. And what have we here?
Oh, fuck.
Directly into your mind.
All of us independently at the same time.
Yep, all of you independently at the same time.
Oh, cool. So my for fuck's sake is valid.
So let's start with the one who had kind of the most awareness of this. So Zachary, upon hearing this voice directly in your head, how does Zachary react to that?
I go, hi, we're crawlers, from Earth. What are you?
All right. Yep. No, sorry. Finish.
He just says it out loud.
Out loud.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know we're crawlers. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You had that same thing. So simultaneously, this is all happening at once. So we've got Zach's response. Fokionis, you're the next sort of closest in proximity to the lake. What, upon hearing that voice, again, this is all happening sort of not sort of simultaneously. How does Fokionis react to that?
Guys, hear something? Some dude just said, "What do we have here?"
Right? And
That
then
wasn't one of you guys like horse playing around, was it?
don't take it further than that just yet. Alia, you've just had that voice, like you've seen Zach they went off to investigate. You stayed where you are. You've still, well, not still, you've heard this voice directly into your head. How does Alia react?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right. Now, you've all responded. Let me come back to what we need to do next.
I'm the logical one.
Okay, so what I need from each of you
Another
is you can either send this to me in Discord or you can say it here, but I need you to, from your character's point of view, need to know what the thing is that they want the most. What is their that deepest desire that they have? Again, you can send it in Discord or you can just tell me what it is, but I need to know that for this next little.
Sounds like homework.
Not less finishing the session really early.
I think mine is a little.
What is it your character wants most?
I can't remember my mum's name.
Well, it's gonna be whatever you tell us it is.
No,
That'll
I
be
mean
canon.
like.
You mean your real life?
No, Lily.
Oh, okay.
Lily. Lily's the
Oh,
fucking
Ivy.
character.
Ivy.
That's it. I've only gotten written down Jake, and I'm like, that's a bit annoying.
All right, so it sounds like you at least have an idea of what that is for Alia. So what's, just so I can jot it down?
I want my mum back.
Fair.
Yep. Okay. Again, this is just something I need to be aware of, and it's only you that knows it at this point. Pocahontas or Zach, do either of you have?
DMing now.
Okay.
I'll just say it. He wants his wife Angelica back, and yeah, he's sort of settle down, start a family, still with his own magic shop, I guess. Yeah, simple
Done.
stuff. Can't have that now.
Hey, I'm
Yes.
gonna murder my own kid in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. And
Well,
oh, sorry, Zach. Yeah.
To win the crawl and sort of get them to make everything back the way it was, which is what would happen, wouldn't it? Right?
Hmm?
Yeah, that's totally what's going to happen.
They can just put.
I just want the information, not the question. All right. I will have to. I know we have to do a retrospective, but I would love to know from Lily what Jake's is. That would be very interesting to know the innermost thoughts in Jake's head.
Probably wants his girlfriend back.
So it might align with Alia's.
It's naked spaghetti.
Naked spaghetti.
I mean,
Okay. I wanted to kind of get you to think about that before the next little section. So with all that in mind, and I just wanted to jot it down again. I was happy for you to give it to me direct
we
or
ran into
in DM
Siren.
because it's gonna to come out. So you each get now a slightly different feeling in your head. There's like a little bit more of a probing sensation, and you get, so for Alia, you feel this probing, and then without you having said your name, the Alia, mortal dreamer, I can make your deepest desires reality. Give it voice. Tell me, what do you wish for in this world? You each receive a similar version to that. Phocionis, you are addressed the same thing, but you're addressed as Mighty One. Zach, you're addressed as Seeker of Truths. But you all get that same probing question. So I wanted you to think about what that is. You can choose what you do with that, but in this instance, Alia, you were addressed first. So you've been asked what it is essentially you want the most.
Well, if he can probe and talk to me in my brain, I'm presuming he's already found that.
You can make that assumption. I'm not sure whether that's a question or you're just telling me what Ali is thinking.
I'm gonna think and hope that he hears me because I'm not saying shit aloud.
Mhm.
And I'm going to ask him what he thinks I want.
You definitely get the
It.
sensation that is heard. And then there's like a pause for you, Alia. That's not the way this works, little one. And then Phocionis. So
Hello.
you've been asked that same sort of thing. Following on from that first little interaction, and you've kind of bewilderment. That voice is now back, asking and telling you that your deepest desires can become a reality. What is it that you seek?
Wait, oh no, is this is that Ray Martin show, isn't it? Like, this is your life. This dude's getting what do I want, and then the door slides back, and there's my dog and my apartment. This is all a sketchy dream, right? Is that you, right?
Am I clear that you want a Ray Martin?
No, you're Ray Martin, aren't you? Are you not Ray Martin? Fuck, that's good. You're one of them impersonators, like, where you pretend to be other people, but you're not. Because I could have sworn you was Ray Martin.
There's silence for that one at the moment with Phocionis.
Excellent.
Zach, your desires can be made reality. What do you long for?
Yeah, just to wake up and find out that the last few weeks have all been a bad dream.
And this is definitely heard. And coming back is, I can make this your reality. Is it what you truly want?
But when you say reality, because I've read fiction before, and this kind of thing never goes.
Are you Lucifer?
You guys are hard to deal with.
But yeah,
So
sure, that'd be great. What do you want in return? Zach's smart. He's not wise.
this is very true. Excellent. Simply your help. So leaving Zach alone for the moment. Now, coming back to Alia, you had a response that it's not how this worked. Do you respond anything further from that?
Yeah, are you Lucifer?
And as you ask that, that shadow kind of, Zach and Phocionis, you guys see it sooner than Alia, but it grows and grows and grows until eventually those three sort of glowing orbs come out of the water. And you see the head of this creature and its gills and these three eyes and this huge mouth that, even though it's closed, has just teeth protruding from it. And the head itself is close to the shore, even though there's that sand. It's that really steep drop off that clearly could take in this massive creature. Sorry, very large creature. You can't get a full sense of it, and its full size or its shape is very fish-like. The gills and the kind of the basic blunt shape of its head, but it is so large, and the parts that are coming up so just intimidating that the closest thing you can think of is like relate it to is an extremely scary mutant catfish that is bred with like the Meg from the deep. It is an unpleasant looking creature. And the mouth still is closed, even though you're hearing all of these voices in your head, each of you is voice in your head. The who was I up to there? Ali, you don't see the shadow coming, you just see the ripples and then this head appear from the water, very clearly visible to you, even at the little bit of a removed distance that you've got. In response to your question about are you Satan, and you hear that voice now, you can see the face attached to it that it's almost as old as time itself, older than the gods and the fallen angels. Satan has no place here. And those three eyes are locked onto you as you hear that in your head.
That's a no from me.
So no sharing of your deepest desires?
I don't want what this guy's offering because it's gonna be bad.
All right.
Seems like a nice guy there. He's just offering us
Nuh-uh.
whatever we want.
Nuh-uh. Consequences.
All right. So I'm just going to come back to Phocyonis. I'm going to deal with the next little part of this. So Phocyonis,
Although,
do you respond any further to the request for telling you what
not
your
until I figure
deepest
out the answer to
desires
that.
are?
Not until you tell me, are you Ray Martin or not?
The one of the eyes, oh, sorry,
Wait, how many
one of
eyes?
the eyes three. One of the
Oh,
eyes
God.
stays. Ali, you see it is still locked onto you. Phocyonis, you notice that one of them turns to look over at Zach. The third one is now making direct contact with you, and this face, like it is only maybe 5 or 10 feet from you because of its size as it's come up out of the water. Like you're now looking up to this thing, and it's definitely not its full body. There is still an amount that is disappearing underneath the surface of that water, and that eye looks down at you, and you hear in your head again. You're hearing the rest of what's going on in each other's heads. Neither Satan nor Ray Martin am I? No, but I have an offer for you.
Well, come on, man. Everyone's got. My mum said that not get offers from strange dudes that are hanging around water pools, you know? I can't. I mean, why? You look like you don't miss leg day. You're a big boy. What do you need our help for? You got fucking 3 eyes, man. What are you, like the predator? Do I have to get to the chopper? Like, what the fuck?
All right,
He
with
wants
Oh,
tree
no
fitting.
response. Come on.
what's 3 deep cut South Parks. Deep cut South Parks. Oh, okay. So, with that and that interaction with the three of you, you each now see its mouth kind of opening a little bit. Honestly, you're still not sure whether what you're hearing is the voice directly in your head or in your ears at this point. It's quite a full-on and disorienting experience that you're all going through, but you do hear this kind of half to itself. One will do. So, Zach,
So we all hear that?
as you do,
Wait,
as a
what?
result,
Which one of you fucking bozos said yes to this clown?
of you accepting the the offer of this creature that has kind of injected itself into your head. You are currently charmed. So at this point, for the moment, just to explain to the rest of you, because I've got the charmed effect here. So Zach, this is above the table, so that because I know we're all very new, so I want to pass along this bit of information so that you as players are aware of it. Your characters are not. Zach is currently under the control of this creature, which comes with quite a few things, but including that he can't take any reactions. He is being controlled by it, and there are definitely some conditions that allow it to end, but I'm leaving that for your characters to discover, and also to discover that he is charmed. But I'm just letting you know, and I also need to I can't have a quiet conversation with Zach to let him know privately that he's charmed. So Zachary, you are currently charmed by this creature, and for the other two of you as Dante and Racer, letting you guys know that that's in effect. But Vokionis and Alia, you guys don't see anything different at this point in Zach. What you guys do see is that on either side of that head that was above the water, these two giant tentacle tail-like appendages sort of slap the sand, and it erupts up because they are huge. The in like a little pillowing plume, but there is still more of its body and possibly more of these appendages hidden by the water. And you hear this one more time in your heads. This is Fokionis and Alia. This would be so much easier if you just let me know what you desire. I can make it all come true.
I don't know that you can, buddy.
How about nah?
All right. With that being the case, can I get, and this is where we will finish off. Can I get all of you please to roll initiative?
Roll initiative. Fuck.
You included, Zach,
Yeah.
because you will have your own initiative in this order, and this is a little bit of a tricky one for me to manage. But if you can give me those initiatives, I'll get us all set up and ready to go.
I'm gonna start a combat encounter so you can roll it. Or
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I will.
For some reason, I've got advantage on my initiative. Sitting
yeah,
there. Is that?
because you're a barbarian. Level
Oh, yeah,
7.
cool.
You're that
Got
good.
you. That's because we leveled up. I'm with you. Guess what? That didn't fucking help at all.
All right, so I've set all of you into a combat state. The Drake will share Miss Racer's initiative.
Oh, oh, yeah, all of us going at once.
All right. And I'm going to roll for Jake as well, just publicly in the. So, Fock, do you want to roll hit that button for yourself in the little combat thing?
Oh, I rolled in D&D Beyond. Sorry. Does that mean I get to roll again?
Yeah, roll again.
Yay!
Always
In the
fun
combat.
going first. Remember that.
Hang on. Well, you
can
mean
decide.
my
What
roll?
was that? Sorry, Racer.
I said it's not always good going first. You're the one that decides what happens.
So if I'm rolling it, what is it? It's a D20.
If you just go into the combat encounter, there's a dice next to your name. If you hit it, it'll roll your.
Oh, okay, cool. Hang on. Blah, blah, blah. I have to. I'll just add the 2. Hey. Oh no, there we go. At advantage. Cool.
Yeah.
And he did end up going first because at the moment the the creature's name's in there, but you guys don't know what it is. It's just this monstrosity that was digging its way around in your heads. All right, it is 10 to 11 and this is just kicking off. So let's pull the pin there. We'll resume next hopefully next Thursday. I'm working on this as being the time we get together, and I'll check in with Lily. If any of you are speaking to her, please do just check in with her and see how she's traveling, and I'll do my best to try and be accommodating if Thursday doesn't work. But
Cool.
we'll catch up and see where Jake's at. Lily/Jake. But that's where we're going to leave it for tonight with yeah.
To off stream, what does Jake want?
Yeah, exactly. Have a sus.
Yeah, and then we won't know if Jake's charmed.
Well, I've got to deal with that. But yeah, talking with Lily, I'm definitely not going to do that on her behalf. I'll check in with her to see how she wants to handle that one.
Posted something in her server last 6, so I don't know what happened there.
She could have been cool. I know. I definitely know. There's been a lot. Like she's been calling a lot with work, but I'll catch up with her. We'll leave it there. We've got Jake in the initiative order anyway. And like I said, just reminder, and I'll remind you guys when we come through. Zach, you're charmed. Well, you're just charmed. Egg, you're charmed. You guys are aware that that's happened as players above the table, but Alia and Fokionis are completely oblivious to it.
Right. This is going to be fun.
We'll see what happens with Jake. And yeah, I'll make a decision with as to what the outcome is with Jake and with Lily as to whether you guys find out like you did with Zach, because you've now aware that there's potentially as players that he is charmed. So maybe Jake will be too, maybe not. Who knows?
Maybe.
Probably. I'm gonna guess. My money's on yes. I don't know why.
Now, I'm hoping that this saves the encounter. Because if not, I'm going to take a photo of it and I'll just do it on pen and paper because I don't want to cost you guys like good rolls and stuff and do a do-over when it's not necessary. It's good to be back and see you all. It was very unchaos like that you guys ran away from the spider webs. That was
we ran into something worse, so
Yeah.
Because Leo isn't as tired as what she normally is. And she's actually thinking logically.
He's actually saying, I should have just gone through the webs.
Yep.
So, shit. Yeah, because
Either way, we were ending up in a battle.
Yeah, I've never seen an aboleth before in D&D as a player. I've heard stories, but no. Don't know what to expect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're encountering something that might be a little bit new. For Egg as well as Zach.
Oh yeah.
No, that was good fun.
Yeah.
That was good fun, and we'll see what the rest of the world and the jungle and everything else is doing with this as well. I'm looking forward to next week.